Test, test, test.
Ladies and gentlemen, the schools that make up the Brandon Valley School District would like to welcome you to Brandon Valley High School and to Homecoming 2018. Please welcome our guests this evening, the Raiders from Rapid City Stevens High School, against our Brandon Valley Lynx. Let's first meet the defensive starters for the Raiders from Rapid City Stevens. At defensive end, number 56, a 6'1", 255-pound senior, Tyrese Morris. At one defensive tackle, number 60, a 6'1", 255-pound junior, Brennan Bussey. At nose tackle, number 74, a 6 foot, 240-pound sophomore, Ty O'Connor. At defensive end, number 76, a 6'5", 225-pound junior, Wesley Folsom. At outside linebacker, number 8, a 6 foot, 180-pound senior, Joe Spray. At middle linebacker, number 50, a 5'10", 200-pound junior, Isaac Gelson. At outside linebacker, number 55, a 5'10", 200-pound senior, Michael Orthman. At cornerback, number 10, a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, Joe Weber. At the other corner, number 13, a 6'1", 170-pound junior, Philip Walls. At safety, number 6, a 5'11", 160-pound senior, Drew Messer. And at free safety, number 7, a 6'1", 165-pound junior, Colton Hartford. Assistant coaches for the Raiders, Scott Zebo, Tony King, Paul Ferdinand, Brandon Peterson, John Crossway, James Vollmer, Tyler Olson, Lance Schroeder, Josh Knapp, and Zach Elkhorn. Head coach at Rapid City, Stevens, Scott Hagan. Now let's meet our Brandon Valley cheerleaders.
From Brandon Valley High School here in Brandon, South Dakota, it is once again time for Lynx football right here on Lynx TV, The Cube, on YouTube, and Alliance Channel 226. Good evening, everybody. I am Kyle Roque alongside Ken McCune. We are just about set to get underway here on Homecoming as the Brandon Valley Lynx, coming off a loss at home to the Roosevelt Rough Riders, will be taking on Rapid City Stevens. Ken, good to see you as always. And, well, what can we say about last week's game? There, we talked a lot about how the team struggled. You know, they couldn't really get anything going offensively. Special teams was once again a little iffy. I thought the defense played really, really well in the last game. Roosevelt got a couple of short fields, were able to take advantage of some turnovers. Tommy Skolton went 7 of 19 last week, but I thought he played a lot better than the numbers showed. This is going to be a big opportunity on Homecoming. Good crowd here on hand, as always. The Lynx are going to have to make a big step in a big way because right now it's win at all costs.
You're exactly right. Coming off of the loss, you just talked about it in the game last Friday, and it's let me, before I start off with my rant here, folks, it's good to be back on a Friday night, isn't it?
Yeah, a chilly Friday night,
Man,
huh?
Is it beautiful.
Football weather, my friend.
Yeah, and I got to give a quick shout out before my little ones go to bed. They'll go to bed. The first graders will go to bed here in just a little while. But Griffin, Savannah, I'm glad you're listening to us, and good night, and Daddy will be home after the Lynx win tonight.
And hi, Chris, my mom. I'll be home after the game.
There you go. hey, way to follow up on that.
There you
Anyway, so like you talked about playoffs, and so I was talking to a few people in town, and like we all do, and how big is this besides homecoming? how big is this game? I mean, you got to get right back on that winning track because everything's bottled up in the ESD right now. And the ESD and then the Metro Conference and how the playoffs work out, and we know that from experience. In the past years doing Lynx TV for your folks on Channel 226 on Alliance, thank you, and the YouTube, our YouTube page.
Yeah.
And so thank you for tuning in, whoever's out there tuning in tonight. But this is a big matchup, homecoming, and it can have huge playoff implications because right now you're in the second half. You've now started that second half of the season. It's 4 games to the playoffs right now.
Yep, no doubt. National anthem coming up here in just a few moments. The Lynx once again here on homecoming, coming off a rare home loss to the Roosevelt Rough Riders. They lost that game 24-7. The game was 10-7 midway through the third quarter, so it was obviously a very, very, very tough-fought game. Roosevelt took advantage of some turnovers, and unfortunately were able to win that game. Lynx have to come back, and they have to make a statement tonight. Speaking of statements, we're going to have our national anthem coming up, and we'll kick off. It's just a few moments away.
Performed tonight by the color guard members of the Brandon VFW Post 4726, Brandon American Legion Post 318, and the Valley Springs American Legion Post 131. God bless our veterans and active military and all they do for our nation and our local communities. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the playing of our national anthem? Proper etiquette is to remove all headwear, face the flag, and put your hand over your heart. Active duty military personnel or veterans not in uniform may salute the flag. Playing our national anthem will be the Brandon Valley Trumpet Line under the direction of Drum Major Emily Hensley. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you.
Lynx and Raiders, a collision course here in Brandon Valley. Lynx with back-to-back home games, and this will be their second one. Once again, coming off of that tough loss to Roosevelt, we're going to see the offense, I think, really try to spread things out and make something happen, and make something happen early. The play design in the Lynx only touchdown drive last week was, I thought, spectacular. I thought they had a couple of good drives that didn't end up in points, long sustained drives, and that's why I think the score was so low at 24-7, even with the Lynx giving up at least one key turnover on the kickoff return that was fumbled. Roosevelt got the short field. Roosevelt got a couple of short fields, actually. Do you think that the Lynx offense tries to make a statement early here, Ken?
Well, you need to. We talked. Let's talk a little NFL football. for some of you that watched that NFL game last night. It was such a shootout, and it's all about starting fast, but you got to sustain. You have to completely sustain that momentum throughout the game, and you saw that like I just talked about last night is both teams just putting the pedal on and not a lot of defense. The Lynx so far this season in 4 games have really their defense has stepped up to the plate at most games, and so in most spots, and we saw that last week for about roughly right around three quarters and maybe 2 minutes. They really defensively were stout, and tonight, you can't really say Stevens is up to par or the same level as Roosevelt. So you got to step on these guys real hard right away, and that's what you talked about, Kyle.
And it'll be the Lynx defense that will be setting the tone here because the Lynx won the toss. They will defer, which means they will receive to start the second half. And I also think that's important. I like getting the ball to start the second half. As I said last week, works in Madden. You want to when you play Madden, you want to get the ball in the second half. That'll guarantee a W. Obviously, we're not doing that here, but as you said, even without guys like we got to turn the page to this year, but losing guys like Kay Trevere on that defense from last year, this is still a really a lot of leadership on this defense. And it'll be them just as much as the offense that is going to have to make a statement, and they can do it with a quick 3 and out.
You're exactly right. It looks like I just got a text from my wife, and the Lynx look like they're stormtroopers. She said. On the field.
Yes, that's right.
That's they kind of do. I mean, in a way, what really looks good about their helmets though is that chrome paw.
Love the chrome
on that helmet. It looks nice, and always the Lynx look spectacular. And they always say, I know from a coaching standpoint, is if you look good, you play good. So let's see how it starts tonight.
The student section's fired up, and away we go as Joey Sorensen knocks this one. And this will go into the end zone for a touchback. Remember, according to the new high school rules, if the ball touches the end zone in any way, it will be a touchback. So here comes the Rapid City Stevens offense, led by quarterback Colton Hartford. He's a 6'1", 165-pound junior. And we'll see how this Lynx defense that has looked strong all year looks here. They've had some great performances, looked great against Aberdeen Central, looked tough last week, even against a few short fields, first down. 4 wide receiver set. Looks like Rapid City Stevens is going to try and spread this one out. And immediately down goes Hartford. That's just what we talked about. A sack on the play by number 26, Devin Jones.
And Devin Jones stepping up big as it's you almost call this the second senior night because it's homecoming. It's not the senior night; it's the second senior night before the senior night. And Devin Jones, number 26, as a senior, you can see plays a little bit of linebacker there on your screen, coming up with the big sack.
Second down, Hartford from the gun again. Phillip Walls in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff, but this play is stopped because we're going to have a false start penalty, I believe, against Rapid City Stevens.
And Rapid City Stevens on their front line, they go from left tackle to right tackle, 255, 235, 275, 220, and 255. So they're pretty big up front.
And we've talked about the Lynx front, and they're no slouch themselves. Very stout up front for Brandon Valley, as they generally are. Parker Reed, Noah Hofer, Tanner Neuenhuis. That's a scary front. 2nd and 22. Hartford's going to throw over the middle. Dropped, incomplete. Nice defensive play by Jackson Hilton, who had an interception in his last game. He's only a sophomore, but he made some big plays last week in his first start.
And I like what they're doing. They're in a lot of man coverage here, even though that you see Jesse Steffel playing 10 off. They're on that slot receiver. He's in a true man, and to me, what they're going to do with those two backers is they're going to blitz them some here.
Got to give some credit to the Lynx student section already. They have been loud. You can't quite hear them here, but we certainly can. Intercepted by Tellinghusen. Inside the 10. He is gone. Touchdown, Brandon Valley. Interception return touchdown by Ethan Tellinghusen. And the Brandon Valley Lynx lead at 6-0.
It's going to be a hold on Jesus Jones, number 62, the right tackle, as he blatantly held him, but that's going to be declined by Coach Garrow, and like Kyle just made an amazing call there.
Thanks,
touchdown. Defensively.
Touchdowns are always good, my friend.
We talked about a little bit in our pregame, and I know it was a short pregame for you guys, but defense, and that's what this team is predicated on, is defense. Starting big, putting the pedal down, and that's what they just did.
Well, they say the best offense is a good defense, and that's proven there. Snap spot blocked. The kick was blocked on the extra point, but the Lynx get 6 free points and lead at 6-0, and we've seen a lot of turnovers generated. We saw one last week against Roosevelt, and they're a tough team to get turnovers off of. It was later in the game. But I just want to go back. I know Tellinghusen made the interception. It was a great play. But Jackson Hilton made an awesome play on the left side of the field to knock that one away. Some of these sophomores that are getting a lot more time struggled a little bit early, obviously. They're raw. They're nervous getting their first time here. But I got to tell you, this sophomore group and some of these guys that are playing defensively, the more and more they play, the better they seem to be getting.
Experience is always key, especially when you have talent on that sophomore class. So we're going to talk about our Lynx TV sponsors, the Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank of Brandon, the Pizza Ranch, the Brandon Community Foundation, Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, and we'll get right back to them.
Sorensen kicks it off, 6-0 Brandon Valley. And they're going to get a shot at a return here across the 20 and tripped up to the 25-yard line. Nesbitt returns number 1, and the Raiders are going to get the ball back. What do you think about the Lynx defense already going back on the field? Do you think they're a little gassed already, or is it too early in the game to be thinking about that?
No, the momentum, and you just keep on feeding off that. And I like what Coach Christensen's doing. He's in like I said, they spread you out. Obviously, they're going to go out of their pistol set, and what they're going to do is going to go 4 wide, and we're in a true man and just watch our linebackers fly, and that's going to be key tonight.
Here's a handoff up the middle to Phillip Walls, and a nice run for Walls. He gets about 5 yards on the play.
And McKinney Olson Insurance, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, Schoeneman Construction, and the Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club. Thank you all. We'll get back to you in just a few moments after the Lynx come off the field defensively.
Phillip Walls in the backfield again, and he gets the call again. Not this time. He's gobbled up in the backfield. And it looked like that was Hansen on the play, and they're going to try to establish the run after an incompletion, a sack, and an interception so far from Hartford.
Well, to give you perspective defensively, so we have four defensive linemen out, and we have the 2 backers. So you're in they call it a nickel package, so it's an extra defensive back. Well, what we're doing truly is Coach Christensen is bringing one of those backers almost all the time, and that's why you're seeing a lot of things met in the backfield.
3rd and 6. Hartford throws, incomplete. Way too high for Tegan Heckel, and it'll be 4th down. So an interception, a pick 6, followed by a quick 3 and out. And, boy, this Lynx defense looks hungry for a win so far.
I like it. You know, you got to like it. You got to like it defensively, setting the tempo, and now here's what's going to happen. You know, well, hopefully we get a special teams touchdown here.
Yeah.
But our offense is going to come down to the field, and they got to the same intensity has to happen on that side of the ball also.
Mahaffey gets this one away. It's going to bounce, and there's going to be a return here down the right side. Nice return by somebody that we have to smile to see he's on the field. Mark Muchkanaus is back after that tough-looking injury that he suffered last week.
There was a lot of us that went home and prayed and made sure that he was in our prayers last week, and we thank you all for doing that, and I'm sure a lot of you did that as you, like Kyle went into just a second ago, is that looked like a bad injury, and that's huge that he's back on this field.
First down for Tommy Skolton. A couple of drop passes last week. Skolton 7 of 19. So he's going to try and get it started early here, and they're going to hand it off early. And it's Jesse Steffel to the right side. First down across midfield into enemy territory near the 37-yard line. Jesse Steffel, nice run. They got a nice mix going. Jesse Steffel is getting it first, but there's plenty of guys on this Lynx team that can run the football.
Well, one thing in coaching Jesse back in the 8th grade and on that FBU team that we did, and we talked about Feldkamp and Danny Bring last week for Roosevelt, coach them too. But Jesse, one thing that his maturity will grow as a running back here is that them cutback lanes towards the middle of the field are going to be there. You don't always have to get to the sideline.
Hansen and Steffel in the backfield. Two wide receivers to the right. They give it to Steffel again, and he just chugs up the middle across the 35 down near the 32. So it was not a pretty run, but it was still a run of about 4.5 yards.
And Jesse, to me, and we talked about it last week, Kyle, he has to offensively, and I know he's playing a tall task every week. He plays defense, and he's arguably one of your best defensive players, and he's a huge weapon on offense. But Jesse's got to get that ball 20 times on offense to make that offense click, I believe, every week.
No sign of Tate Johnson yet, but we assume he'll be in the game eventually. They're going to go a play fake here. Skolton's going to run. He doesn't do it often, but he gets a first down here across the 30. Tackled on the play by Jackson Steiner, but a first down for the Lynx. They're moving the ball well here.
They are, and it's all on the ground, even though that's a design rollout in a pass. Skolton uses his legs. And the second half of the season, we can throw away the first half of the season because that's gone. I mean, it's gone. All that learning, everything in the first 4 games is gone. Now, Thomas, use your legs a little bit going forward here in these 4 games and into the playoffs, and be ultra aggressive. He has to be too.
And I'm sure he learned a lot from that last game. Here's Jesse Steffel, and Steffel almost got loose up the middle across the 25 down to the 20. And it'll be another nice first down run. That's what the Lynx have to do. That's what Roosevelt did. A nice run on first down, nice run on second down, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Easily manageable situations late in drives.
This offense, to me, and I don't know if all the other eyes in here agree, it's got to start with the run every week.
They give it to him again. And he's going to run across the 20. He's going to be close to a first down. I don't think he quite got there. A big group of Raiders are there to make the tackle, but he's going to be about 2 or 3 yards short of a first down. So a third down coming up for the Lynx.
And one thing we talk about is that front line. You always win. If you win the line of scrimmage, you're going to win a ball game. And right now, both sides of the ball, defensively, we're winning the line of scrimmage with the defensive line, and our linebackers playing really, really well. But this offensive line's creating some big holes.
3rd and 2. They give it to Hansen, and Hansen muscles his way near the 15. It's going to be close, but I think he got it. And that's a situation, Ken, where they just want to get a first down. They're really not worried about anything else. Just move the sticks. Don't do anything too flashy. Just pound and ground.
Well, it's establishing it.
Yep.
They have to. They have to have an identity. Right? The first 4 games, they really didn't have an identity on offense. They have to establish now that identity in the second half of the season. They have to.
I formation. Vegans comes in motion. Full house backfield. Steffel again. They haven't even thrown yet. Steffel up the gut across the 15, down near the 11-yard line. And Isaac Gelson is in on the tackle for Rapid City Stevens.
One thing about Rapid City Stevens, give them a little credit, because there's been some massive holes initially for the running back, but all of a sudden that second tier is closing. That tells me that their linebackers are pretty decent because they're able to find that running back, because Jesse, a couple runs, you think he's going to go the distance, and he's just getting closed in a little bit there.
Vigenson telling Hewson out, McCann and Cilliuson in. Play fake from Skolton. Look out. And there's a fumble on the play, flag on the play. The Lynx are able to recover. Zach Rogau is there to recover it. And we'll see. We'll check the flag. Go ahead, Ken.
And if I'm Coach Garrow and the offensive staff, and I pull Thomas over and I say, don't try to get too cute with this ball. Just don't. It's not your game to lose. It's your game to win. And so, as you could see, number 30, Andrew Hansen popped open as a fullback. Just like real good quarterbacks, they find the open guy, no matter who they are. Just find the open guy. If he's sitting there right away, just get him the ball. Let him work. You don't have to work so much, Thomas. You let your weapons work.
And the penalty was holding. They decline it. Rogo was able to recover the fumble. So 3rd and long. Skolton goes over the middle, knocked away beautifully. If it had been thrown just a little bit higher, it would have been a touchdown to Cole Siegfried, but knocked away beautifully on the play by Drew Messers. So this very, very good-looking drive all of a sudden is stalling, and it looks like the Lynx kind of stuck in no man's land here near the 22. It would be a 40-yard field goal from here, so they're going to go for it.
Well, statement-wise, this is what you do. You keep the pedal down. You keep on driving it, and setting the tempo for your team, and that's what Coach Garrow's doing right now. Everybody's like, well, it's 4th and 15, kick the field goal. No, set the tempo, go get a first down or a touchdown.
4th and 17, we'll see what they do. Skolton's going to roll, and he's going to dump it to the right side. Pass is caught by Ciliason, and unfortunately, he is going to be about 3 yards short of a first down. But that 15-yard gain did push Rapid City Stevens way back, starting at the 10-yard line.
Well, what it does is to the psyche of your team. What it does is when you're going forward on 4th and 15, okay, like they were just doing, what it shows from your coaching staff, what it shows is that you have confidence in them all the time. Mm-hmm. And that goes a long way for the psyche of your team in this game and going forward.
Colton Hartford gets another shot at it, and they're going to hand it off up the middle. Not much doing there as Phillip Wells gets another carry. And we have a scoring update. And hold on to your hats, folks, because Sioux Falls O'Gorman has opened up a 36-0 lead on Sioux Falls Roosevelt. If you remember, Roosevelt shut out Washington 29-0, beat Brandon Valley 24-7 here last week. O'Gorman looking very sharp so far, absolutely giving it to Roosevelt. Surprised by that, Ken?
Very.
Hartford runs into some trouble. Now he's going to take off and run with it, and he slips a tackle, gets a first down, and a nifty-looking run, and a tackle made by Jackson Hilton, but a first down for Stevens, their first down of the game. Boy, that's some nice-looking running from the quarterback, the junior.
It was 2 defenders, as you've seen Mr. Parker Reed, and I believe it was Hansen that both ran into each other there and missed the tackle.
First down for Hartford. Flag. It was a first down for Rapid City Stevens, but Hartford was the quarterback. We're not playing Hartford tonight, and we never will. There's a false start. And it'll push them back, and Sioux Falls I got 5 million different teams going on in my head. Rapid City Stevens is really shooting themselves in the foot so far in this game. Turnover, sack, penalties.
They are, and you would think with this offense, I mean, they're predicated a lot on their passing game. It's a fast turf.
And an end around does not work. They brought a man in motion. Keel was in motion, and Tellinghusen, who's having a monster first quarter, makes the tackle in the backfield. That'll bring up a second and very long, all the way back near the 17-yard line.
I really like what Coach Christensen, like we talked about earlier in the first quarter here, is that he's being ultra aggressive with his linebackers, and I like that because I think, with Tellinghusen and Hansen, I believe they can, they're a little undersized, but they can fly and use their speed sideline to sideline.
2nd and 19. Hartford, he's got to throw. And he throws it incomplete. Just a little too tall. And coverage was by Caden Johnson, intended for Nesbitt, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 19. And you know what's coming here, another deep pass, so this could be another opportunity for the Lynx to get their paws on it here and get a short field.
Well, one thing, watch out for screens. I always tell defenses when I've coached defenses is 3rd and long. They know that you're going to bring the heat. They know you're going to bring the blitz. What kills a blitz and kills a pass rush is a screen. Watch out for that halfback.
Well, let's see if they bring it here. They do. Hartford rolls. Trying to find somebody open. Tipped and incomplete. In and out, and then in and out again of the hands of Jackson Hilton, who's been very busy so far. And Sioux Falls, Rapid City Stevens has to punt.
I like our man-to-man coverage. It is very, very aggressive. We have a little bit bigger corners, as you can see, as Jackson Hilton is a bigger kid, taller kid, and it's hard to get over him. And plus, he's shown a little bit of speed, but his man coverage has been on point so far.
Mahaffey, nice punt, fair catch from Muchkanaus, and there was contact on the fair catch. Muchkanaus called for a fair catch. Obviously, Aubrey Williams came in. He might not have heard it, might not have seen it.
One thing he has to see is that hand go up.
Got to have your head up.
Yeah, and so that's just on him. I mean, that's going to give him 3 yards, and we've seen a lot of penalties so far for the Stevens. You know, they travel a long ways, and I see some blue over on the other bleachers over there, and they traveled a long ways too.
Oh yes.
And I see they got snow out there, and we say it's cold,
man.
But man, whew, they're glad to be here for this short little period of time.
No doubt. And it's not like he killed him or anything. I think he maybe just got a little confused where, you know, nobody's running, and he kind of gave him almost a love tap, almost a bear hug, but that's still a penalty. You cannot make contact with that guy. That's Dems the rules. And rules are not meant to be broken in football. Here's a first down handoff. Up the middle, there it goes. Johnson, his first carry of the game. Across the 30 to the 25, down near the 24. Another nice first down run, and a very generous spot gives the Lynx a first down.
Here's what I'd like to see from the offensive staff now. First down, go for that shot.
Yep, let's
they
do
think they think you're going to run the ball, play action it, hit over up the seam. Don't do it on third down. Try it on first down, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the run here. Try to hit that shot now.
They tried to hit Siegfried up the seam on 3rd and long in their last drive, and it almost worked out. It was a little underthrown. So let's see if Tommy gets a nice one here. Now they're going to give it to Johnson again, and not so much this time, but he did get about 3 yards. So
here's one thing. Okay, that play off of that play right there. So you fake the give there and let Thomas. There's nobody out here on by the hash on to our hash here towards us. Fake that read option that he's doing and just run it. They're not even paying attention to him. They are collapsing so hard. We're talking about the Stevens defense.
Skolton rolls, throws, and it is caught. First down. Ty McCann, who, if you'll remember, spent a little bit of time playing quarterback last year when Skolton was not available. His brother Jack also played for the Lynx. I believe he's now living in Indiana. So, Jack, if you're watching, hello.
Very, very good athlete also. I coached him in the 8th grade, too, in the FBU. And he was one of our quarterbacks, him and Denbring. And so you see these kids maturing to the varsity level, and it's great to see that they're participating and they're making a difference on their football teams.
First and goal for the Lynx. Hanson and Johnson in the backfield with Skolton. Flag, false start Lynx. Lots of false starts early in this game.
And I believe that'll be our first penalty.
I think we had one.
Or is that number 2?
We had a holding penalty, if you'll remember, when Skolton fumbled.
It was declined.
It was declined. You are right.
So yeah, that is number one. Technically, it's one, but it is two.
Right.
So, that's really good for a first quarter of a ball game because homecoming, everybody's going to be hyped up, and when you're really hyped up, sometimes it's a negative, and it'll create penalties, false starts, stuff like that. So the composure's really good from the Lynx right now.
First and goal from the 15. Skolton throws it out wide to Tellinghusen. Tellinghusen slips the tackle inside the 10. He's to near the 5-yard line. Boy, Tellinghusen already has a pick 6 in this game. He can slither around defenders like nobody's business.
He played pretty well in the first 4 games too. You saw spurts of him. And I wonder if the offensive staff now and Coach Garrow is saying, hey, we got to get him the ball. Defensively, the ball came to him, or he went and got it. But offensively, maybe utilizing his speed and he's slippery like you talked about, Kyle, that's a good thing to have.
Well, he made a huge play in the previous game on what I think is the play design of the year when he came over the middle when they looked like they were setting up a screen to the right. Tellinghusen is out wide at the bottom of your screen. They're going to hand it off up the middle, inside the 10, to the 5. No signal yet. Down near the 1, Caden Johnson.
Boy, did our offensive line have a big, big push there. Everybody's going to say, man, that was hard running, but boy, they had a pocket for him to run behind. Whew. Our offensive line, you can't say enough about our offensive line right now, and that's going to be in the first quarter. Our offensive line's playing tremendous right now, and the defensive line we talked about, win up front, win ball games.
End of the first quarter, Lynx leading 6-0, but have dominated a majority of the game. The Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors are the people to call in the Brandon Valley area for your real estate needs. Call Harry Buck, 605-366-0221. I know he's watching tonight. Miriam Hackler, 630-400-4860, or Susan Anderson, 605-201-1087. They are your hometown team of real estate professionals. Go to harrybuck.com to learn more about available properties in your area. Brandon Valley Lynx TV is also brought to you by Alliance Communication, the leading internet, cable, TV, and phone provider in the Brandon Valley area. Alliance customers have access to 100% fiber to the home, which puts them light years ahead of most households throughout the country. We are proud sponsors of Lynx TV.
The First National Bank of Brandon, our student checking account at First National Bank is the perfect for those 25 and younger. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. We are proud supporters of all things Brandon, including the new baseball complex at the First National Bank Field at Aspen Park.
Third and goal from inside the 1. They're going to give it to Johnson, and Johnson didn't get it. Johnson did not get it. He was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and goal, and the Lynx are going to go for it. Surprised they just didn't run straight out of the I formation there, Ken.
This is statement time. I mean, I know that it's the second quarter, in the beginning of the second quarter, but you've already stalled once inside the 20. You scored defensively, so offensively, we haven't put points on the board in a full quarter, okay? They need to establish something right here, and the run has been established. Continue to do it. Nothing pretty here. Just let them go.
4th and goal from inside the 1. I think this is Andrew Hansen time. Nope, they're going to throw. They're going to throw it wide open. Touchdown, Brandon Valley. Boy, they gave me a scare going for it on 4th and goal and throwing for it, but it is a touchdown. And it's Carter Altoff, and the Lynx are going to stay on the field and go for 2.
What a great route by Altoff. It is a good, very, very good pass. But Altoff, that little, they call it a little shimmy to the inside, got that corner going to the inside and just cut it back out. And a great throw, great catch, touchdown.
I was talking to one of the players for the Lynx a couple weeks ago, and I said, Tommy's looked good so far this year. And he said, yeah, he's improved a lot, but it's pretty easy when you have Carter Altoff to throw to. And there's no question about it. Going for 2. Skolton, right up the gut. Skolton can't quite get there. So he is stopped on the play by Wesley Folsom, but the Lynx do score, and they now lead it 12-0.
The Pizza Ranch of Brandon are proud supporters of the Brandon Valley activities. In the finest pizza in town, bring the family for our buffet. Before the game or order our delicious Boasted chicken or pizza after the game. Call us at 605-582-6322, and we will deliver to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you are in town. Go Lynx. The Brandon Community Foundation is a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more information, go to our website at brandoncf.org. Go Lynx. Brandon Valley Journal is your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. You can get all the local news in print and online. If you haven't already subscribed, do it today by calling 605-582-9999.
Lynx take advantage. Nice run by Kay Johnson on that drive. And here comes Rapid City Stevens. They need to answer. And tackled near the 21-yard line is the sophomore Branson Keel. And if anybody heard that can opening, that was a Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
They are not a sponsor, so you can't talk about it. I'm sorry,
right.
go ahead.
Go ahead. That's right. But we can talk about the Brandon Taco John's. Sign up for the Taco John's Rewards app on your phone for lots of deals and surprises. We have new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh just for you at Taco John's.
We just did a segue. We did a real broadcasting segue there. First down for Hartford. He's feeling the pressure, and he's eaten up in the backfield by Sam Kroenke.
Big sack. The defensive line is playing tremendous tonight. It's always hard when a team's in the pistol formation. And what I mean by that is the quarterback, once they come back on the field again and get lined up, the quarterback is about 5 yards behind the center in a half shotgun position. The halfback is about 3 yards behind him, directly behind him, traditionally in the pistol, and it really allows you to do read options. You saw the series before on the other side of the field. They went to a jet motion with the wide receiver to jet him across the field. So there's a lot of options. It's just how you work it. And so that's what you're seeing from their offense. The Brandon, let's go back to our
I can do it.
Go ahead.
McKinney Olson Insurance. Steve Tripp and the team at McKinney Olson Insurance is a proud supporter of Lynx TV. We are your longtime local insurance agency, and we will go to the extra mile to gain your trust and give you peace of mind that we have you covered. The Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce is a proud sponsor of Lynx TV. The Chamber of Commerce is dedicated to help speak for and support local businesses. A strong local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. So remember, when you buy Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx. Boy, Sam Kroenke knocked around the Rapid City Stevens offense so much, Rapid City Stevens had to call a timeout. Hartford out of the shotgun. 5 wide receivers set. Lynx bring the heat. Over the middle, incomplete. A beautiful defensive play by Joe Colbeck, a sophomore. These sophomores are coming up big.
Especially in the secondary. I know back in the Washington game, back at Howard Wood Field, I had a fan or a parent, I believe it was a parent, I'll say it's a parent, of one of the players say that we're really, really young in the secondary and it's going to take them a little while. Well, this is their coming out game right now.
It's been a while, apparently, because they have made some awesome defensive plays. Third down, Hartford out wide, caught, but he is going nowhere.
And that's perfect defense there, is you know you have a third and a mile to go there, and you keep everything in front of you. Let them complete that little 3-4 yard pass. Just good tackling, get them off the field. They're in a punting situation. The Lynx should end up with great field position here.
Great open field stop by Jordan Block. If I was squinting, I would have seen Antoine Winfield out there. That's how good it was. He was a great player. Mooch Canales, look out. He's got to go way back there. This was a good punt by Mahaffey, and the Lynx will start near the 41. Schoenemann Construction specializes in residential and commercial construction, serving the Brandon area for nearly 40 years. They truly are builders of reputation. Give Stan a call, 605-366-7842 for all your construction needs. And finally, the Brandon Valley Athletic Booster Club. proud supporters of all Brandon Valley programs, including Lynx TV. That's us. Go Lynx. We wouldn't be here without this, guys. That's for sure. First down for Tommy Skolton and the Lynx. Siegfried in motion, left to right. Jesse Steffel back in the game, gets the handoff, and he is mauled after a nice run by number 55, Michael Orthman.
It'd be interesting. Nice, some of you at home that have Alliance Communication cable, if you can DVR, or if you're DVRing, or even you can rewind it live, you can see that Thomas Skolton, he just keeps that on that, and he's running for a mile.
They're waiting for it.
He needs to do it at some point here.
They're going to do it, and it is going to be sweet. I know that's not professional, but I don't care. Pass is too low, incomplete for McCann.
And this might be a perfect time to do it because they're focused on Jesse. They're focused on our running game up the middle. Do it. Get him out in space. We know he can use his legs. Let's see it.
Another scoring update. Aberdeen Central leading Rapid City Central 6-0. Third down. They hand it off. Steffel. And he is going to be a couple of yards short. That'll bring up a fourth down. We'll see what the Lynx want to do. Maybe about 4th and 2 here.
And they're going to go for it with 4th and 2 on not your side of the 50, the Stevens side of the 50. So this is an interesting call. You don't get it. You give them somewhat of a momentum change and definitely field position change. The way your defense is, I would almost punt this ball and get your defense back in and let them reestablish field position for you.
Well, they're going to go for it. I was thinking maybe they would just see if they'll jump. Steffel, he didn't get it. He did not get it. Great defensive play by Rapid City Stevens and a guy who we've said the name many times already tonight, Michael Orthman. He has been the catalyst of this Rapid City Stevens defense, keeping them in the game, and he sure did at that time. Great penetration by Rapid City.
When you get it, or when you convert the first down on 4th down, your coaching staff looks amazing, and nobody questions the call. But when you don't get it, people start questioning that call. You know, your defense is playing outstanding. It's okay to put them back on the field when you need them, and the defense is not giving up yards.
In fact, they've given up 0 rushing yards so far. Hartford throws over the middle, caught. Nice catch, first down, Branson Keel. And just like that, here comes Rapid City Stevens down just 12. And their drive starts with a nice play, gain of 19. So the Lynx going for it on 4th down. They don't get it. They could have pinned Rapid City Stevens deep, but they decide to gamble, and Hartford is making them pay so far. And now they thought about doing a reverse pass, but Keel keeps it, and it is actually a nice run. We got a Lynx player down on the field, the gain of about 7 yards.
And I believe that's going to be Neuenhaus. Tanner. That's down on the field. It is number 53. Stats right now is Hartford. We keep on saying Hartford, and people are probably thinking, these guys confused up there or what?
Colton Hartford, quarterback.
Keep on saying Hartford. He is right now 2 for 8 for 20 yards with an average of 2.5. Rushing, it looks like they are at a total of 8 rushes for 6 yards. And this is what we're talking about defensively, as Tanner Neuenhaus is back up and he's being clapped off. It looks like it could have been just I don't know what it was, but it's a good thing he's up and walking off. Stat-wise, so there's not a lot of total yards going on. And if we add those two up, you're looking at 35 total yards given up with 8:05 to go in the first half.
It's pretty good. 1.6 yards per play so far. And one of those was a 19-yard completion just earlier and now a 7-yard run on the reverse. So the only time Rapid City Stevens has really gained any yards is kind of being a little cutesy, including the 19-yard pass. Hartford is rolling. And he throws it deep into the end zone. Incomplete. Knocked away by Caden Johnson. And that'll bring up a big 3rd down in this first half.
I'm telling you, the secondaries, along with the front 6, because they're in a nickel package. What we mean by a nickel package, it's traditionally a 3rd down package, about a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. But the Lynx, with a spread offense that's on the field, they're going to stay in their nickel all the time. Mm-hmm. Nickel is with only 2 linebackers, and you have 5 defensive backs.
5 wide receivers. Hartford, pressure, and he is sacked on the play. Hansen got in there early, and it was cleaned up by Noah Hofer. It'll be 4th down really quickly. Have you ever heard the story about Brett Favre and the nickel package? I'll make it as quick as possible. He was in a meeting when he was starting. I think it was his 2nd year starting with the Green Bay Packers, and Ty Detmer was his backup quarterback. And they were in a meeting with their quarterbacks coach, and they were talking about when the team that they were playing switches to the nickel defense. After the meeting, Brett Favre goes, what's the nickel defense? And Detmer goes, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, I'm serious. He's like, well, they take a linebacker out, and they put a defensive back in. And Favre goes, that's it? Long field goal attempt, 48 yards, good snap, good hold, short. Short and wide right, no good.
Well, that tells you.
Mahaffey misses. Go ahead.
That tells you, and I have a lot of respect for Brett Favre, even though it's he wears that other color that I don't.
Well,
really
for a little
like.
while, he played for the Vikings a long time.
Yeah, and that was pretty special.
That was fun.
But that tells you that how much of a ball player. It didn't matter who was on the field defensively. He was just going to give it, and he gave it all. And he was tremendous player.
And now Aaron Rodgers works out well for Green Bay, and looks like the Vikings might have their superstar quarterback now, because Kirk Cousins has played great so far this year, other than the hiccup against Buffalo. First down handoff is to Johnson. I'm getting a lot of looks from Wade Ellis over here talking about all these Vikings players.
He's
a Steelers fan. What have the Steelers ever done, Wade? One for the thumb. Yep. He might 5 Super Bowls.
He might tell you a couple Super Bowls, but that's beyond the point.
Yeah.
We're still waiting.
Still waiting. I've always said it. If there is a God up there, he is playing a big prank on Minnesota, and they're going to win 6 in a row. They're just going to give it to us all in a bunch. I think Wade Ellis's eyes rolled so far they just about fell out of his head. Tommy's going deep right side. He's got a man, and it's caught by McCann at the 35. Little bit underthrown, but Joe Weber couldn't stop him.
The current quarterback, now you're going to like this one.
Okay.
The current quarterback for the Lynx to the converted quarterback to wide receiver for the Lynx. Massive play there by those two.
And just like that, going for it on 4th down, it looked like it might backfire on that big 19-yard completion by Colton Hartford, and the Lynx get a missed field goal, and they make a splashy play to make up for it. Excellent play. First down for the Lynx. Hansen comes in motion. He's number 30. They give it to Johnson. Pushes the pile a little bit to the 30. And we've seen a lot of Kay Johnson so far, not a lot of Jesse Steffel since the first quarter. In fact, the first maybe 1 or 2 drives. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 8 from the 29. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Lynx, although only leading 12-0, have really dominated this game so far. And they've done it with their running game. 65 yards rushing so far for the Lynx. Skolton 5 of 7, 77 yards so far. He's had a good bounce-back game. They go play fake. And they're just going to dump it off to Hansen. He's a monster, and he breaks one tackle out. He couldn't quite break it, but he does fall ahead across the 20. Lynx are in the red zone at the 19.
Revert back to the first quarter. We talked about Tommy finding his first open guy, and in the first quarter they ran that same exact play at the other side of the field, and Tommy didn't find his fullback, and he was wide open that time. Maybe it was a little learning progression there, but Tommy did find his fullback, uses him as a weapon because a lot of that defense is not looking at him.
1st and 10 from the 19, another play fake and another dump off, and this time Hansen couldn't hang on. It wouldn't have probably been a huge gain, but that goes into the out of the hands of Hansen.
2nd down and 10.
And you got to have it in your wickets before you turn upfield, and I think was the problem there.
And Skolton, Tommy is 6 for 9 for 87 for 9.7 average, and whenever you average that amount of yards on your pass plays, and your completion percentage is pretty high right now, it's almost a first down, and that's big. And he found the end zone on one of them.
2nd down, Johnson. Going to get about 3 yards on that play. And it was Orthman again, along with Wesley Folsom making the tackle for Stevens.
It'd be interesting to see, and they're rolling Skolton out a lot on his passes to get him outside the pocket, and that's a good thing. Almost Siegfried, moving Siegfried in motion to the other side. That's what they're doing right now.
Yep, good call.
And bringing him across the field so Tommy can hit him in the back of the end zone.
The Lynx got to take a timeout. And they were running out of time on the play clock. And Coach Siliuson comes running all the way across the field, and he is screaming at the Lynx offense.
It'll be interesting because Siegfried right there was going out on a route.
Yep.
They motioned him right to left. He's a big target. They got to somehow find a way to get him in, especially in the red zone right here. Big tight ends can be a huge asset to you in the red zone. And we're talking from the 20 into the end zone. And see if they can use him a little bit like we talked about, going right to left in that motion and bringing him across the field, because they'll roll Tommy out right, which they should do with a right-handed quarterback, and let him come across that end zone and from the left to right and find him. And it's okay to throw it up top a little bit because he gives you some size.
And I think that's why maybe they were so upset. I think maybe they saw something in Rapid City Stevens' defense that they wanted to take advantage of.
And maybe they won't even motion him here. They have him on the left side. We'll see what they do.
Skolton dumps it to the right side. Pass is caught by McCann. 1st down inside the 5. He stays on his feet and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. Ty McCann. Excellent play by the Lynx. And Brandon Valley has an 18-0 lead flag. So we will check this. And the Lynx offense is coming back. So it was a very good play, but we're going to get backed up here. No touchdown.
And
Ouch.
Coach Garrow does not like it.
No, illegal man downfield. That's not good.
Well, you got to come on back. I mean, it's 3rd down. This is, to me, the way the aggressiveness on the offensive side of the ball going for it on 4th down. This is a 4-down territory. Still, you're up 12-0.
Thankfully, it was a spot foul, so the Lynx aren't backed up too much. It was really only a loss of about 5 or 6 yards. 3rd and 12 now. Lynx will just have to do it again. Skolton, he's got happy feet. He's rolling. He's got a man open and complete for Siliuson.
And telling you, in the back of the end zone, popped open, but Skolton was heavy pressure, and that's almost an impossible pass to make at that deep of that end zone there and rolling out to his right.
Well, and that's a lot of arm strength. Even he's not throwing across his body. He's got his momentum going forward, but you're talking about rolling out. You're near the 30, you got 3 Rapid City Stevens defensive linemen in your face. That would have been a tough play.
And you can get a first down here. You don't have to go to the end
Nope.
zone. And play to get the first down, not the end zone.
Second time the Lynx have gone for it on 4th down inside the 25. Skolton rolling. He's got his man telling Hughes in the sure-handed catch. And that is going to be close to a first down. We'll see. Can't quite tell yet. Referees, Curly, Larry, and Mo, the referees are out there.
Time out for measurement.
And they're going to measure. Nobody laughed at my Curly, Larry, and Mo thing. Okay.
Well, we actually thought that
That could very well be
been
those
their
3.
names.
It could have been the Stooges out there. Some people probably think it is.
At times. So the Lynx TV sponsors are the Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors, Alliance Communications, the First National Bank, the Pizza Ranch, the Brandon Community Foundation, and the Brandon Valley Journal, Brandon Taco John's, McKinney Olson Insurance, the Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, Shoneman Construction, and the Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club. And the Lynx are short.
Yep, they did not make it.
At the 10-yard line.
So once again, they went for it on 4th down, and they got a gain of 12. They needed 15, and that was in the first quarter. This time, late in the second quarter, they go for it. They needed 12. They got about 11 and a half. It was a good play by Tellinghusen, though, and it backs up Rapid City Stevens. Hartford from the shotgun. The junior quarterback hands it off. We have not seen a lot of handoffs so far, but this is by far their best one. It was a handoff to number 4, Gabe Wood, tackled on the play by Carson Mashlin.
So this is interesting. I was just looking over at the Rapid City Stevens sideline, and they're doing this. They're waving stuff in front of their hands, in front of their face, their hands. You see the smoke screen over there? I wonder if that's on purpose by some of our fans.
If I go over there and Mayor Beasley is having a bonfire, I can't say I'll actually be that mad about it.
I don't know if you can see on your screen or not, but there's a little haze over that sideline.
Hartford's going deep. He's got his man caught, first down. Steffel makes the tackle. Bridger Nesbitt makes the catch. And Rapid City Stevens getting some life.
Sometimes the turf will catch you, and it did there for Mr. Steffel is that he slipped a little bit, and that wide receiver got open, and a great throw. If only they could have hit it, and I'm not saying I'm for Stevens here by any means, but if he could hit him in stride, that's a touchdown.
Yep, a little underthrown, just like Tommy's was earlier. And they hand it off right side, nothing doing. Philip Walls gets the handoff. He's stuck at the line of scrimmage. And he was tackled by Noah Hofer.
2 minutes to go, first half. This is a big statement that you need to put on the field here is you want to still have the momentum going into halftime. It's still a low scoring game at 12-0.
Like we said, it just feels like the Lynx have really taken it to them just everywhere but the scoreboard. Lynx do get the ball to start the second half. 1:39 to go in the first half. Hartford from the shotgun. He will throw. He pumps, fires, caught, nice catch. First down, Caden Johnson was on the coverage. It was good coverage, but Bridger Nesbitt just gets right in front of it.
That'll stop the clock as they're going to move the chains. It always does in high school football. With a minute 29 to go, the chains move first down. It's almost in the red zone for the Stevens Raiders. We'll see what the defense does here as this is where everything tightens up.
First and 10 from the 28. Handoff again, and here comes Jordan Block in the backfield. Wood was knocked down by Block. And that's something that the Rapid City Stevens offensive line did not do on that play.
Our linebackers are playing some ball tonight as there's only 2 of them like we talked about. But there's truly finding those gaps, and they're picking the right gaps to go to. And some of it's by design also, but you also still have to read the guards there to make the tackle.
Hartford The junior goes right, almost intercepted on the play by Jackson Hilton. Jackson Hilton's been all over the field along with Tellinghusen.
I have a feeling I'm gonna call this one, okay? For the future of the Lynx. My guess is Jackson Hilton's going to be not that he's not good right now. He's a sophomore. He's playing a good game. But I'm going to call it out. He's going to be a very special player in the next 2 years here for your Lynx. You're seeing a kid come into his own in this football game right now.
3rd and 13, and it's a big one. Hartford steps up, going to run. And he's got some speed. He is near the 20, but that is going to be short. And they're going to take a timeout. Stevens timeout. It's going to be 4th and short. Stick with us at halftime. We're going to have the Brandon Valley Lynx band out on the field, as they always are. And Wade Ellis is fired up about that. He's our statistician tonight. Also we're going to have Kirk Strand up here. He's going to be talking to us about 5th quarter, which is going to be a lot of fun. I did not attend last week because I am not a middle schooler or a high schooler, even though I act like one. And then we'll go through the stats, Ken and I will, and thank our sponsors once again. So I think, obviously Stevens is going to go for it here. They're down 12-0, and, they need a first down, and they want to chuck this one into the end zone before halftime, make it a 12-7 game.
They want points. They need them, and the Lynx don't need to give them up. You want, like we talked about, momentum. 26 seconds, timeouts look at 2 for Stevens, 2 for Brandon Valley. Brandon Valley does not want to have to use them by any means. And so how do you tighten up here? And let's see what these corners and especially those linebackers do here in coverage, because you know that Christensen's going to bring the linebackers with a blitz.
Hartford out of the shotgun, 4th and 3. False start. Wow, that hurts.
And that's free yards.
Scott Hagan can't like that. Head coach, Rapid City Stevens. Oh, it's going to be on the Lynx.
Parker Reed.
I thought it was a false start. That's my fault, ladies and gentlemen. First down for off Brandon Valley's offsides penalty.
1 timeout remaining for Stevens, 26 seconds.
16-yard line, 1st and 10. Hartford rolls, throws, end zone, touchdown. That's a touchdown, and just like that, Branson Keel gets Rapid City Stevens back into the game. It's a 16-yard touchdown.
Back into the game is an understatement. You're up 12-0. The time of possession, and we'll get it to you here at halftime at some point, has to be very lopsided, I believe, because we have been running the ball. But the issue is, and you've had a ton of possessions. Remember, one of the scores from the Lynx is defensively. Offensively, we've only had 1 touchdown with all these possessions that the defense has given you. It's time to step up to the plate a little bit here, offense, after halftime, going in the second half, and establishing something.
Mahaffey with the extra point. It is good. And, boy, I mean, the Lynx have drove down the field twice. They scored, but a touchdown. They scored 1 touchdown on offense, 1 on defense. They go for it on 4th down in the first quarter. They don't make it. They have a touchdown called back in the previous drive, and then they go for it on 4th and 12. They get 11.5. So the offense just hasn't punched it into the end zone. They haven't punched it through the uprights. They haven't been getting points. But like you said, Ken, they're dominating this game everywhere but the scoreboard. This is a 5-point game.
Right. And the issue is, and it continues to be, is that they have the first couple series, it was give your horses, your running backs the ball. Okay, Jesse and Steffel and number 21, is it Tate Johnson, I believe?
Yep.
Yeah, Tate Johnson. And let them be a two-headed monster here and run it right down them. But don't always run up the middle. Get to the outside. Use the outside of the field, okay? They know you're going to try to establish up the middle, but use that as a counter to the outside.
You got to pitch it. Pitch it every once in a while. Brandon Valley alum Alex Rogan knows you got to pitch it He's an NFL expert, football expert, class of 2013. This is a short kick, and it's going to be returned. And they're wasting a lot of time here on the return. Tate Johnson, 11 seconds to go. And I think the Lynx are just going to go into halftime here up by 5. But we'll see.
It's all about adjustments at halftime and how do you adjust. The Lynx don't need to make an adjustment. They have to offensively continue to pound the ball. I know you want to get a little sexy once in a while, and what I mean by that is throwing the ball and bootlegs and stuff like that offensively. But you got to establish it. We talked about, and I know you want to get to what just happened, and that's going to go into halftime, but you got to establish your identity. Your identity is running the football.
Yep, it has been at least so far. So we head to halftime. Your score, the Brandon Valley Lynx 12, and the Rapid City Stevens Raiders 7. The Brandon Valley Lynx marching band is going to take the field. Again, we'll watch them. Ken's going to get to our sponsors here before we start. Also, we're going to be joined by Kirk Strand from Fifth Quarter up here, and we will break down that first half as we pretty much already have. 12-7, the Lynx lead. We'll be right back. Lynx get the ball to start the second half.
Thank you to over 150 people watching on the YouTube right now, and Alliance Communications has been huge, and our band's about to get out onto the field. But I'm going to run through the reason you're able to watch this on the YouTube, all 150 people that are doing it right now. I just got the report, and thank you from the Harry Buck team for giving me that report. The Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors are the people to call in the Brandon Valley area for all your real estate needs. Just call Harry at 605-366-0221 or Miriam Hackler at 630-400-4860 or Susan Anderson at 605-201-1087. They are your hometown team of real estate professionals. Just go to harrybuck.com to learn more about available properties in your area. Alliance Communications is a leading internet, cable TV, and phone provider in the Brandon Valley area. Alliance customers have access to actually 100% fiber to the home, which puts them light years ahead of most households throughout the country. We are proud sponsors of Lynx TV. The First National Bank of Brandon, our student checking account at First National Bank is perfect for those 25 and younger. It provides convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. We are proud supporters of all things Brandon, including the new baseball complex, the First National Field at Aspen Park. The Pizza Ranch of Brandon, proud supporters of Brandon Valley activities and the finest pizza in town. Bring the family for our buffet before the game or order our delicious boasted chicken or pizza after the game. Give us a call at 605-582-6322, and we will deliver it to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you are in town. Go Lynx. The Brandon Community Foundation is a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more information, go to our website at brandoncf.org. Go Lynx. And the Brandon Valley Journal is your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories in sports and photos and everything you want to do with stories. They have it all. You can get all the local news in print and online. If you haven't already, subscribe. Do it today by calling 605-582-9999. And we are going to present the Brandon Valley Lynx Marching Band as they have taken the field. And we'll let you enjoy them as we're going to enjoy them also. We'll talk to you in just a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Brandon Valley Marching Lynx. They would like to thank you for watching our halftime performance. Last Saturday in Marshall, the Brandon Valley Marching Lynx finished 3rd overall. Tomorrow morning they'll be...
All right, welcome back as the Brandon Valley Lynx marching band comes off the field, and what a tremendous job by them, as they always do. Great job. I got a note over here from our PA guy. Bob would like to say hi to the Lynx TV viewers. Cliff and Susie McMartin, thanks for watching. We appreciate it on Lynx TV. And we appreciate everybody that's watching currently on Lynx TV. The 150 viewers so far on our YouTube page, and everybody that's watching on Alliance Communications. We'll run through the stats real quick, and then we have a couple pastors here that are going to speak about the 5th quarter from a couple different churches. The Lynx right now, we'll talk about Stevens a little bit, but Stevens total yards, as we look at it, their total yards, and the scoreboard's not going to show the difference on this, but the total yards, total offense for Rapid City Stevens, and you would think there's a ton of yards being put up, but only 104 yards total for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders, and 168 yards for your Lynx, led by, and we'll look at the Lynx stats here, rushing Jesse Steffel for 8 attempts for 43 yards, and Tate Johnson 8 attempts for 28 yards, and they've really been the catalyst of the offense, and I believe in the second half that's what they need to do, is continue to establish that run, which they already have, but they need to continue it. Passing right now, and Skolton is having a pretty efficient day, no huge plays, but he's 7 for 11 for 98 yards and 1 touchdown, and the big stat is he has no turnovers, and Hartford on the other side for Stevens has 1 interception, the big interception on the first drive by your Lynx defense that turned into a touchdown in points. And he's got 1 touchdown also passing. Ty McCann's leading the way receiving on the receiving end of Skolton with 2 receptions for 54 yards. So enough with the stats. I know everybody likes stats and everything, but here's the thing. 168 yards to 104 yards is not a lot of difference, and it seems like, to me, and the time of possession is about almost 5 minutes to the good for the Lynx right now at 14:27, time of possession to Stevens, 9:33. Capitalizing when you get in the red zone, making sure that you get points on the board, even if it's 3 points, is going to be huge in the second half. And I'm going to turn it over to Kyle, and he's going to have some special guests here from the 5th quarter.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Ken. And with us are Dan and Derek. We're going to talk to Dan first. We usually talk to Kirk Strand. I can see him down there. He's right near the 40-yard line. But you guys got a great thing that you guys do, and it's called 5th quarter. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, 5th quarter is an all-Brandon event. It's all the congregations working together. That's why Pastor Derek is here as well. It's a positive environment for middle schoolers to come after the football game tonight to have some fun. We got free food. Just come as you are. Doesn't matter what congregation you belong to, and we are there from 9 to 11.
All right, and then we got Pastor Derek here. Derek, you said you got food. What else you got? You got some games going on?
We got games, dodgeball, outside events. We even got s'mores being cracked open because, for some reason we like sending these kids out sugar high. I'll get up.
Let the parents worry about it.
Let
Who
them
cares,
worry about
right?
it and put them to bed. But it's going to be just all good, wholesome fun. And, by the time they go home, parents, they will be dead tired. We promise you that.
All right. Well, I hope so. Anything else to add, guys?
No, just, it's great to see the community come together, things like homecoming and things like events like this, too. So thank you to all the congregations that have sent people over there and helped out, and it's great to be one community.
And then I forgot to ask this: where is the current fifth quarter this week? Because it
Important
does move.
information.
Yes, it does
Yeah.
move around, right?
It's at Brandon Lutheran, which is right beside the middle school. For the middle schoolers only, no senior high fifth quarter tonight. They have a dance.
So if you've ever gotten a heart attack driving down that road by the middle school and seen the police officer in that church parking lot getting ready to bust you for going 33, I'm just kidding. That's
Yeah.
not true at all. Oh my gosh, Officer Wade Ellis is in here right now.
It's a little bit true.
It is. And so if you ever by that Lutheran church, just about everybody in Brandon has been there. You can stop by for fifth quarter. Middle schoolers, food, games, s'mores. S'mores would be perfect on a night like this. My goodness, it is. It's getting chilly out there. You guys both got you got a quarter zip on. You got your jacket on. So should be a lot of fun, right, guys?
Absolutely.
And of course, will the Lynx win this game?
Yes, we predict it. Yeah, right now. Yeah.
All right, there's our football experts, Dan and Pastor Derek, with us for fifth quarter. Guys, appreciate it as always. Thank you very much. I'm shaking their hands very firmly here, trying to pull them in. All right, there goes Dan and Derek from fifth quarter. Awesome event going on at the Brandon Lutheran Church right next to the middle school. And, well, I hope we don't see a fifth quarter in this game, Ken.
Oof.
Because we certainly could. It was a game dominated by the Lynx. They outgained them rushing-wise. They outgained them passing-wise. They had less penalties. They had better time of possession, but they only lead 12-7.
Yeah, and we talked about establishing identities. And identity-wise, defensively, I believe this. We have an identity on defense, and it's being very, very aggressive. Coach Christensen's dialing up some well-timed blitz. Almost, we don't have the percentages of when he's blitzing and how many times he's blitzing, but it's a lot. And it's probably 90% of the time, I would guess. And a lot of man coverage, and that's what you do when you blitz and you put heavy pressure. Unlike the Vikings, they weren't ultra aggressive, and that's not a Mike Zimmer's defense. Sorry to
What's wrong, Wade?
harp on it a little bit, but it's not the nature of Mike Zimmer to sit back and not put pressure and blitz. But he did not do it, and he hasn't did it for 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. I'll get off of that. And but offensively for your Lynx, needs to happen is that identity has to form in the second half.
Well, there's a lot of positives from the first half that you can play off of, right, Ken?
Well, there always is, and the positive is that you did gain quite a bit of yards on the ground. Not like we're used to with Braden Peterson last year. You know, you'd go 300 yards, and that's a game for that kid.
He's gotten a little playing time too with Augie.
He has, but you're looking at between your two horses, in Jesse Steffel and Tate Johnson. You're looking at 71 yards rushing. That has to peak up a little bit. They need about 200 yards on the ground to win this game, I believe, and don't put it into the hands of your quarterback all the time to win ball games, because that's not always going to work. Keep on establishing the time of possession, be heavy in the time of possession, run the ball, the clock will keep on turning, and you're going to come out victorious. But it's a 5-point game. To me, they came out rushing the ball, and you saw a heavy rush. I think the first 5 or 6 plays, I would say, was running the ball, and they were walking right down the field.
Yep.
Well, all of a sudden, and sometimes, and I've been notorious for this too, being a coordinator in my life, is that, you know what, I want to see what the passing game's going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to call it. And I'm not saying our coaching staff's doing that, but that's a lot of times what happens. And sometimes you got your offensive line really rolling. Okay, they're loving it. Offensive linemen love to run block. They hate to pass block.
Yep.
That's always the case, because anytime you have to go backwards, it's never fun. When you're going forwards and you're able to muscle another person, okay, on the football field, it's always really fun.
Oh yeah.
And so establish that offensive line, establish a run game, and go put your mark on this homecoming night for these kids tonight. That it's been a special week, and you know this in this community, in the Lynx community in Brandon Valley, and is that homecoming week's real special. My first graders get to see it now, and all these different days and stuff like that. And
football players come to the.
They had an Apple Day, and it was just it was crazy. And so, make it special for everybody in this community, and let's go win this ball game.
And congratulations to Jacob Franson and Mariah Mattis, your homecoming king and queen. Jacob, a soccer player. Mattis, one of the sweetest girls you will ever meet. I was on the congregation in the class of 2012. I did not win. I requested a recount. I was denied. There was an investigation, and I lost by a lot.
You really got to see the count, and you didn't want to see
No,
the
I didn't
count.
see the count. No, I didn't see the count. Elliot Blue won in 2012. I actually got to see him at a wedding for Allison Kane and Adam Guthmiller, who just recently got married. Adam was a linebacker as we get underway. Allie was a stud volleyball and girls basketball player. We got to see Elliot Blue on the return out to the 29-yard line. Decent-looking return for the Lynx.
And that's what the field position is going to be huge. I can't stress enough that it's 12-7, the scoreboard. And if we look at the 11 AAA standings, and I'll get to that in a moment after this play, but there's Stevens can move up a little bit if they win this game, and you don't want that.
Here's a handoff to Tate Johnson, and he is gobbled up in the backfield, right at the line of scrimmage.
So your 11 AAA standings are this. Roosevelt, which was losing earlier, 36-0 to O'Gorman. They're both 5-0, and they're both up at the top at the 11 AAA. And then you have Washington at 3-2, surprising. Watertown at 4-1, and Brandon Valley sits right in the middle at 3-2. And we'll get to the second half of those standings here in a second.
3 wide receiver set for the Lynx. Tommy was looking Siliuson's way first. Fires over the middle. Althoff. Oh, he had it and he dropped it incomplete. Never see that. You do not see that often because Carter Althoff left the Rapid City Stevens defense in the wake of a keen turn of speed, but he couldn't hang on.
Sometimes it's too easy. Sometimes the concentration is just too easy. You're so surprised you're wide open. But catch the ball,
Do it again.
young fella.
3rd down. Seek free to the left of the line. Skolton's going to roll. Throws across the grain left. And this time, Althoff makes the catch. Not as many yards, but he did catch it for a 1st down.
And your second, or the bottom half, I should say, of those standings in 11 AAA, as I said, Brandon Valley sits in the middle at 3-2. So you have a log jam at the bottom 4. And you have Lincoln, Aberdeen Central, Rapid City Central, and Rapid City Stevens all at 1-4. Yep. That can turn a lot of things if all of a sudden the Lynx were to go to 3-3.
Well, don't look now. Watertown, we play them next week. Flag on the play, they're 4-1. Althoff makes the catch. We will check the flag. There's a gain of about a half yard on the play. And the penalty came right at the snap, so that's usually illegal shift or offsides. Or illegal formation. Yeah, there it is. Referees' mics are working brilliantly. We heard about half of that, but it was an illegal formation against the Lynx.
You know, in a lot of these stadiums, and this is the Lynx Stadium, I was at the Augie game last week, and their microphone wasn't working either. I call them the White Hats. I've always called them the White Hats on the field.
Beautiful stadium at Augie.
Absolutely.
Handoff to the right side for Johnson. Haven't seen Steffel. He muscles his way across the original line of scrimmage. Nice run, and he's fired up after that one. And he should be. That was an excellent run.
And they need to do that. You know, I understand that they can hit the long ball. They've shown it. And Althoff being wide open. But what a good running game does is lets Althoff get to the second second tier of that defense. Makes the safeties come up and try to support the run, and then you can hit those big passes.
Here he is again. He doesn't get as much this time. Maybe got a yard. He'll bring up a 3rd and about 6 for the Lynx. And like I was saying, Watertown 4-1. They have been tough. And we got to play them next week. Then we got to play O'Gorman.
Yeah, and that's going to be tough too. So you got to solidify this game.
Both on the road.
Yeah, those are going to be huge games. Let's see if the Lynx offense uses the wide side of the field here instead of the short side of the field to pick up a chunk of yards and establish that first down.
I think I made a mistake. O'Gorman might be here. I'm not sure. Offsides against Rapid City Stevens. Defensive end Wesley Folsom looked like he jumped. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Well, I call that you know how they're saying the RPO now? Mm-hmm. You know how offenses are in RPO, that high motor, high offense, high motor offense. Well, did you see that defensive line there, all standing up and bouncing around? That's an RPO defense. I just named it.
RPO defense. Hold on, let me write this down. 3rd and 1, handoff is to Johnson. He is gobbled up in the backfield. And the Lynx offense is wondering, I think they maybe wanted a flag. That's a loss of about a yard, and that'll bring up a 4th and 2. And I think the Lynx are going to go for it again. Steffel checks in. Siliuson checks in. Johnson and Vegans come out.
Get Jesse Steffel to the edge. That's all I'm going to say.
First time we've seen Jesse Steffel since about the first quarter on offense. Skolton throws it. Althoff made the catch, had control, and then he bobbled it once he got out of bounds. So, Althoff's been playing a lot in this second half so far. I know we're only a few minutes in, but actually, don't look now. This has been about a 4-minute drive.
And they need to do that. At halftime, we talked about continue to establish the time of possession too, and that's what they're doing here early in the second half. Sorry.
Well, they just keep eating up that clock. Up 12-7. Hopefully, get a touchdown on this drive. They got about 40 yards to go. Steffel right up the gut to the 30. Nice looking run to the 25 by Jesse Steffel. He is a lightning rod of speed.
And he brings that he's going to lay the hit too. He's just going to. He's going to be the aggressor when the tackle's coming, and he's going to put the hit on you instead of the defender putting it on him.
First down for the Lynx at the 25, gain of 15 for Steffel. He's still in the backfield. And he's got a great blocker in front of him in Andrew Hansen. Here's Steffel again. Got to hold on to the football. He does. I don't know how, because there was defenders ripping it apart. Flag on the play after the play was over. Across the 15, down near the 11 or 12-yard line. We'll check the flag.
With 7:03 to go, third quarter, this is the type of drive that you want, but it's not always looking good when the Lynx are going back about 20 yards away from the ball.
And it's a late hit.
15 yards from the side of the foul. From the end of the run, first down.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, which will give the Lynx a first down. And it'll be, well, they just move them back, so it's going to be 1st and 10.
Bobby spotted at the 27-yard line.
So it's at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10, Brandon Valley. Pistol formation. Tommy going deep. Right side, he's got Althoff. Can he hold on this time? No doubt about it. Touchdown, Brandon Valley Lynx. Carter Althoff with number 2. Tommy Skolton with 2. And the Lynx are looking to try and gain control here. It's now 18-7.
And that's what a good running game will do. It'll make you saw that all those both of those safeties started creeping to the line to stop the run, and guess what? It put them into a man-to-man situation, and we'll take that every day with Olthoff on the outside.
Well, they're going to do it again. Now, they're going to go for it here, and Ken, I would think you kick the extra point to make it a 12-point game. An 11-point game is a field goal, a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion, but they're going to go for it. Play fake. Skolton. Got it. Caught. Olthoff again. And when he's in the game, he is money.
He is, and he was a big, big factor on that whole drive, as we saw a little bit of a negativity of him dropping that ball that would have been a touchdown earlier in that drive. But thank goodness he gathered that one in the end zone there and caught that one, and that's a big touchdown.
Look at Tommy Skolton. He's on the field. He is going around to every offensive player, including the offensive line, especially the offensive line. Tommy's a pretty cool, calm, collected kid, but he's fired up after that touchdown.
And he needs to be.
All
Sometimes the leadership needs to grow, and we're starting to see that because he did hit a big play. It was a little wobbly throw, but it got there.
Yep.
I don't care how wobbly it was, it still got there, and that was huge. But it all started with how that offensive line did in the run game.
Mm-hmm.
And the run established the pass there, and that was huge.
Yeah, and Tate Johnson has had a good game, but boy, when Jesse Steffel is in the backfield, that's dangerous. Both of them are dangerous. On the return, Keel. He's had a couple of nice returns so far. He's across the 30, down near the 32. Tackled by the kicker, Jory Sorensen. So the kicker getting into the action here.
Defensively, let's see what we come up with as there's 6:40 to go in the third quarter. The offense took a ton of that clock and ran it, and that's what you want. Defensively, you're coming off a series to end the first half with a touchdown. Let's see how they respond here in the third quarter.
Hartford had a touchdown late in the first half to make it 12-7, and up the middle, nice-looking run on first down. He got through the first line of defense for the Lynx.
And I don't want to be premature, but it seems like they're finding something on that right side of that line, that they're finding a little bit of a run game. And we saw that in that final drive in the first half, and then you saw the touchdown also. But they're finding a little bit on that right side, and let's see what Coach Christensen does to combat that.
That was Philip Walls on the run. Hartford in this game, the quarterback for Aberdeen Rapid City Stevens, 5 of 13 with a touchdown. Going to throw, incomplete. Like some miscommunication there. They'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Big third down in the third quarter already, and it's 5:53 to go in the third quarter. But to me, Stevens isn't going to go for it if it becomes a 4th down here. So this becomes a huge, huge 3rd down early in the third quarter because of the fact, or early in the second half, is because you can put the pedal really down on them if you get the ball here.
Handoff up the middle, and boy, that's going to be close. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like a 1st down to me. No, that's, yep, they're going to give it to him. 1st down for Stevens. And that's just power football. They said we needed 3 yards, and they got the push they needed. Barely. 1st down, Rapid City Stevens. Colton Hartford sends Keel in motion. They're going to fake it this time. Throw it right. Caught. Short gain on that play to Bridger Nesbitt. Caden Johnson on the tackle. And, oh boy. Looks like Colton Hartford is down on the field.
Caden Johnson on the tackle. Injury timeout.
And it looks like it's a cramp.
Hopefully it's just a cramp. Get him a banana. So when somebody gets a cramp, you don't rub the banana on the cramp. You actually eat the banana, right, to get the potassium in your system. It's not one of those things like a reliever, right? Okay. Rub pickle juice on it, says Officer Els. Who let you in here? Why are you here? I'm giving him a nice pat on the shoulder here. We're bringing it in. Officer Els knows I love him.
He's having still a hard time on the field he's been a big part of their offense. A lot of things go through him because when he's in that pistol formation.
Yeah.
And a lot of reads come off of him on that read option out of that pistol. And he's had a pretty decent game. We'll give it to him. 6 for 15, 91 yards, 1 touchdown in the big interception. That's really a key. It's going to be key this whole game.
Yep. A pick 6. Almost forgot about it by Tellinghusen.
He's having a real hard time. That could be more than a cramp.
He's out of the game right now. Number 4, Gabe Wood. He's the backup quarterback. Well, second down. Now we got a flag. And excuse me, that is number 3, Tegan Heckel. And it's a false start, so they get Heckel into the game here at quarterback, and immediately is false start penalty.
Quarterback number 3, Tegan Heckel.
So Heckel out of the shotgun here. They're going to hand it off. Almost messed up the handoff up the middle. That was Wood. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 6.
One thing that you should be noticing on your screen is that as Stevens moves right to left, they're running a lot of trip formation. What I'm talking about is a lot of 3 wide receiver set on the bottom of your screen, and what that's doing is pulling the safety over and the linebacker over, and it's opening up the running game a little bit.
Heckel. Oh boy, there he goes. Flag on the play, face mask against the Lynx. That'll give Rapid City Stevens a first down. You could see it from here. His helmet went jolting off. Didn't come completely off, but boy, that's a tough penalty. We'll check it to be sure, but, I mean, that wasn't anything other than face mask, I wouldn't think.
That would be my guess. But going – well,
okay, so it was a 5-yard incidental, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
So what that 3 receiver set's doing with on your bottom of your screen to Stevens' left is it's pulling a linebacker and the safety completely over. They'll probably run they call it a cover 3 zone. It's to get the Lynx out of a man coverage. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah, and so how Christensen's going to combat that is what he really needs to do is almost shift that defensive line to the left, because that's what they're trying to exploit. They're trying to pull the whole defense to Brandon Valley's right to get it back to the left.
And I'm sorry, go ahead, Ken.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just going to say that was a mistake on my part. It's not 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 13, because that 5-yard penalty was a spot foul, so it was at the point of the sack. Pass over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Tegan Heckel, who was just playing quarterback, but Colton Hartford came back into the game. Good to see him back in, but that's incomplete, and that is a tough drop for Tegan Heckel, because he probably would have gotten a first down and kept the drive alive.
And so what they're really trying to attack Brandon Valley's left side of their defense, Stevens right out of that trip set. That's what they're trying to do, and it worked for them going into halftime, and it didn't quite work there, but we'll see how they adjust.
The punt, Much Knaus not going to bother with this one. It goes out of bounds near the 23-yard line. The Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors are the people to call in the Brandon Valley area for all your real estate needs. Call Harry 605-366-0221 or Miriam Hackler 630-400-4860 or Susan Anderson 605-201-1087. They are your hometown team of real estate professionals. Just go to harrybuck.com to learn more about available properties in your area. First down and 10 for Tommy Skolton and the Lynx. Cole Siegfried started out to the left of the line of scrimmage. Now he moves to the right. Play fake. Skolton going for the bomb for McCann. Oh, just a little bit too far ahead, and McCann couldn't quite wrap it up. Good throw by Skolton.
That's a couple good, deep throws that he's put right on the money. The receiver needs to find it. Everybody's going to say, man, Ty McCann, why didn't you get – that's a hard catch to catch over your shoulder.
Yep.
It's very, very tough. And so, but not that he shouldn't – he should have caught it, but it's a tough catch.
So we saw a few of those deep passes against Roosevelt as the handoff is to Tate Johnson. Nice run on second down. And that'll bring up a 3rd and short, so a good-looking run. They're going to move the sticks. I thought it was just a tad short, but it's a first down for the Lynx.
And I like what the offensive staff's doing here in the second half is that they're picking their spots when they try to hit that home run, but they're really, really feeding off that run game. And that's what this offense, that's the identity of this offense is run and then play with the pass.
Play action. Skolton's going to take off. He goes out of bounds after about a gain of 6. Something I just noticed on that formation, Ken, that we haven't seen a lot. Single set formation. We've seen pistol. We've seen shotgun. We've seen I formation. We had a single set there. Just a little bit of a different look, maybe?
Yeah, you have to mix it up, but the real butter of your defense is how you're in. Skolton can be part of that run game too, and you just saw that.
Yep.
And that was somewhat of a design there. You could see it.
And they go back to the I formation. Here's the handoff right up the gut to Johnson, and he holds on to the football. Looked like number 55, Michael Orthman, was trying to rip it out, but Johnson holds on.
And so what you're making, so now the chess match is happening between the defensive coordinator for Stevens and the offensive coordinator for Brandon Valley. There's a chess match going on. The defensive coordinator has to decide, am I going to load the box and stop the run and give up those big plays potentially, or I'm going to keep my safeties high and help with that coverage. Now they're in man coverage again.
Johnson again. This running game was awoken in the first quarter, and it's woken up again here in the third as we're winding down this third quarter. Boy, it's fun to have a good run game, man.
It is, and so it's hard for that defense coordinator to pick and choose how he's got to. You have to be super, super comfortable with your corners. As you can see, they've gotten beat a couple times. You have to be comfortable to bring those safeties down in the box and help that run, because your front seven's not getting it done, stopping the run. So they're almost forced into it. We'll see how this third quarter into the fourth quarter goes, see what he tries to do.
Here he is again. Slips one tackle, and he muscles his way for a first down. Well, he had a quick cut. He broke through a tackle, and then he carried a couple of guys for a first down. That's some power football by Tate Johnson.
And that's what you need. We can't reiterate it enough. This team is going to go how their running game goes on offense. It's just the way it is. People get used to it. You're not going to have big passing games that we have had in the years back. You got to be able to run the ball and run the ball well with this team.
He gets it again to the right side. He had 16 carries for 68 yards before that. That'll bring him to about an 8-yard gain, so it'll be about 76. And the Lynx in this game are averaging 4.5 yards a carry. They've just been surgical running the football. Nothing too flashy. Long of 18 for the team, and that was Steffel. So 30 carries, 138 yards overall for the Lynx running game, and it's been 4 guys that have carried the ball.
and it's really the two-headed monster.
Yep.
And we talked about Steffel. The last series, it was a ton of Steffel, and now it's a ton of Tate Johnson. That I like that establishment from this offense is creating that identity.
Fire over the middle, Althoff, touchdown, Brandon Valley. Tommy Skolton is destroying this Rapid City Stevens defense in the third quarter. Another touchdown for Brandon Valley, and they're starting to take control of this game. It's 26-7.
And he better go back over to his offensive line when they come to the sideline, because of that, that offensive line established the run. Establish the safeties that come down in the box and support the run, and that pops that open every time. We've seen it 4 times already in this quarter alone.
Sorensen, yes, sir. 27-7, Brandon Valley now leads. And Tommy Skolton, who we talked about his struggles in the last game, not all of it on him, as we have said. He's got 3 touchdowns tonight. We'll get the rest of his stats here in just a moment. But he's looked the part. It's 11 of 17, 178, 3 touchdowns along of 44, and 3 bills for Carter Althoff, who really hadn't played most of the first half.
And you know he's gonna get a lot of the accolades in this game, but it's so about that offensive line. I can't stress it enough. That offensive line's working, and the coaching staff is doing the exact right thing on the offensive side of the ball, is run it until you can take that little shot after a few plays of establishing the run, and they're using that two-headed monster, and it's working.
Yeah, and I know the numbers are the numbers, 27 points, but there's no saying that this Lynx offense couldn't have put 41 points on the board. Nice pursuit on the kick return. Ryan Barker, a junior, makes the tackle. But like I was saying, this could easily be a 41-7 game. The Lynx offense has looked a lot better than the amount of points they put up in this game.
And it would have been interesting to be in the locker room at halftime with Coach Garrow and his staff and the players, maybe some of the leaders for the Lynx in the locker room, saying, "Okay, you guys, it's homecoming. It's 12-7. What are we doing?" So let's go back to Lynx football and let's play Lynx football. And right now the scoreboard's showing how good this team can be.
What would you know? I'm just kidding, Ken.
I agree.
No. I love that, like when people say, like, passing complete right side to Nesbitt. Like when there's a show I listen to out of Minneapolis, and they have Ben Lieber on, former Vikings linebacker.
On K-Fan, huh?
Yep. Yeah. Power Trip morning show. Love it. Listen to it every day. And
same here.
He'll explain it, and then one of the guys will just go, "What would you know?" Played professionally for 10 years.
Aren't they amazing?
Oh, they're so funny.
In the morning, and then you got Paul Allen to beef it up at 9 o'clock.
Common Man, noon to 3,
Yeah.
bumper to bumper, 3 to 6:30. I listen to them all.
Oh,
Good
fun.
stuff.
It's fun.
Wonder when the Kyle and Ken show is going to start.
So, here's we got to contact K-Fan and say, hey, you know what? We just gave you a huge promo.
Yeah, we need some. They got the money for it.
Yeah, send us some gear or something.
All right. I know this. Nobody has any idea what we're talking about right now, but if you want a good Minneapolis sports mix, just tune into K-Fan on iHeartRadio. You'll be able to listen to that.
So back to our Lynx TV sponsors. Alliance Communications is a leading internet, cable TV, and phone provider in the Brandon Valley area. Alliance customers have access to 100% fiber to home, which puts them light years ahead of most households throughout the country. We are proud sponsors of Lynx TV. The First National Bank of Brandon, our student checking account is perfect at First National Bank for those 25 and younger. It provides a convenient access to tools like e-alerts and mobile banking while on the go. We are proud supporters of all things Brandon, including the new baseball complex, the First National Bank Field at Aspen Park. The the Pizza Ranch of Brandon, proud supporters of Brandon Valley activities and the finest pizza in town. Bring the family for our buffet before the game or order our delicious boasted chicken or pizza after the game. Call us at 605-582-6322 and we will deliver it to your doorstep, tailgater, or wherever you are in town. Go Lynx.
So Rapid City Stevens now got a lot of work to do here in this fourth quarter. They got 12 minutes, and they got to score 20 points to tie this game. Hartford's going to go deep over the middle. Look out. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Joel Colbeck. Colbeck goes to the right side to the 20. He's to the 15, and he's tackled by Hartford. Flag on the play. Almost had another pick six there. Nice play by Joel Colbeck. He had to fight for it with another Lynx defender.
And the flag's on the play, and the pick, the interception, I call it a pick, but the interception, I better.
Mumbo jumbo.
Yeah. The interception's going to count, but it may be a block in the back or holding on the return. A lot of times those defenders try to turn into an offensive player, and they're not used to blocking, and that's what happens. So Lynx should have the ball here.
Yep, it will be Lynx ball. And it's an unnecessary roughness penalty against the Lynx. So Lynx will keep the ball. Mitchell leading Huron right now. Sorry, 21-7. 7.5 to go in the third quarter.
So the penalty is going to be on Stevens. That's going to give the Lynx big-time field position at the 5.
Oh, it was against my apologies. I thought it was against Brandon Valley. I didn't see him point. So that was against Rapid City Stevens, that unnecessary roughness. Here is Tate Johnson, and he is gobbled up in the backfield. Also, if anybody forgot, because it's football season, and trust me, we know you did, the Twins do lead 10-1, and they won their first game of their doubleheader 2-1.
You're still chugging along with the Twins. I mean, I'm a huge fan too, but there comes a time where I just
you just got to let go.
I just can't watch it anymore.
Yeah. Well, when you got Astadio and Field and De Jorge throwing, it's just you never heard of these guys, but they might be future Twins.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the playoffs as we have a Lynx player down, and that's going to be a cramp also, I believe.
Now, the Brandon Community Foundation is a permanent charitable endowment that supports activities that improve the quality of life for all ages in Brandon and Valley Springs. For more information, go to our website at brandoncf.org. Go Lynx. The Brandon Valley Journal is your local news source covering all 11 Brandon Valley sports every week with stories and photos. You can go get all the local news in print and online. If you haven't already subscribed, 605-582-9999. There's no way you can forget that phone number.
The Brandon Taco John's. Sign up for Taco John's Rewards app on your phone, and I didn't know they had that. For lots of deals and surprises, we have the new and exciting products to choose from, and it's always made fresh for all of you. Go Lynx.
27-7 Lynx. Second turnover of the game. They pitch it out to Johnson. Johnson gets inside the 5, so they fake the fullback handoff, and then they try to pitch it out to get Johnson some space, but he cuts it back inside.
Yeah, a little bit of a broken play. I mean, it becomes a point where you can just establish it and just pound it down their throat, and you're 3 yards from the end zone. Can continue to do what you've been doing.
Give Johnson the ball three times.
Because to pitch it that far, one mistake means that ball's rolling on the field. They take it, they score, it's a new ball game.
Skolton feels the heat, rolls, throws, wide open. Zoltov, his 4th of the game. How is he so wide open, Ken? It was a busted play. Touchdown, Brandon Valley.
What that is a receiver. Now, a quarterback making a play, obviously.
Yeah.
Rolling left, and which is always hard for a right-handed quarterback. But Althoff just finding a hole in that zone, in that end zone, and just sitting.
Yep.
And that's huge. That's a good receiver.
Well, in the first half, this was a scare. Extra point is good, and it's turned in to a laugher. 33-7 Brandon Valley.
McKinney Olson Insurance, Steve Tripp, and the team at McKinney Olson Insurance is a proud supporter of Lynx TV. We are a long-time local insurance agency, and we will go the extra mile to gain your trust and give you the peace of mind that we have you covered. The Brandon Valley Area Chamber of Commerce is a proud supporter of Lynx TV. The Chamber of Commerce is dedicated to help speak for and support local businesses. A strong local business community is vital for the positive growth of the Brandon Valley area. So remember, when you buy Brandon, you support all things local. Go Lynx. Shoneman Construction. They specialize in residential and commercial construction, serving the Brandon area for nearly 40 years. They truly are the builders of reputation. Give Stan a call at 605-366-7842 for all your construction needs.
Well, we knew it was O'Gorman had a chance, but they did end up beating Sioux Falls Roosevelt 36-0. A drubbing.
A shutout.
Oh, wow.
So now your standings, if I can remember right, it is going to go, O'Gorman's going to go to 6-0, Roosevelt 5-1, and I don't know what Washington's doing tonight.
Yeah, we wore them out. We wore them out last week.
The Brandon Valley Athletic Boosters Club, they are proud supporters of all Brandon Valley athletic programs, including Lynx TV. Go Lynx.
34-7. Lynx leading. 2 turnovers for the Lynx defense. Both interceptions. One was a touchdown. One was darn close. Here's a handoff on an end around on first down. First touch of the game for number 24, Jacob Hafner. Not much doing there. Maybe a loss of a half a yard.
And those quick scores kind of make the game go a little bit longer. The clock stops, and that's what you're seeing right now is that, you know, there's a little almost, well, I should say 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's under it now, but the scoreboard's really showing what the Lynx are all about in this game.
Well, and the faster this game gets done, I got a Jersey Shore episode that's burning through my DVR, so I need to get back to that. Pass incomplete.
Jersey Shore.
My sister watches it. It's just a stupid show. I don't watch it, but
boy,
I don't watch it. It's the only TV show I watch.
Oh, well, at least we're painting a colorful picture. We've told you about K-Fan up in the Twin Cities radio station, and now we're talking about Jersey Shore.
And the Lynx student section just starting a Skoll chant, much to the chagrin of Officer Els. Pass over the middle. Intercepted. What a play. Down the left side. I think it's block again. It is. And he's inside the 15. There's a flag on the play. I think this is going to be PI.
Yeah, it's going to be. Well, he kind of climbed his back. We'll see what they call.
There was contact before the catch. But I don't care. That was a great interception. I wouldn't be surprised if that was offensive PI. They were both fighting for it, but I think maybe Block got there a little early. And the Lynx defense comes back on the field. So
somebody text us, like, rewind it. We want to see it. We want to see what happened there. You know, they're calling pass interference. I believe here's my belief on it is that they're both going for the ball, and I know it looked like a little bit of our defender climbing the back of the receiver, but they're both it's a high throw, and they're both going for the ball. I don't know how you call that, but they did.
Well, that was Joel Kolbeck, actually. I said it was Block. It was not Block. It was Kolbeck. Jordan Block has had a good game as the pass is caught to the left side by Hafner. But Block, who I accidentally said, I apologize, and Joel Kolbeck have both had great games. And the secondary's been great overall.
They have. And we got a couple young quarterbacks warming up on the sideline here as Aiden Lloyd, number 8. You remember the Lloyds? Colin?
Oh, yeah. Colin and
That's
Austin was a good friend of mine.
That's their
Colin
younger
is.
brother there,
Yep.
number 8, warming up.
They don't have another one. But, yep, both of them played. This is going to be a false start.
Full start. Offense, number 4. 5 yards, still first.
I believe, Officer Elson, you coached Aiden, didn't you, in the FBU back in the day in the 7th grade, didn't you? Yeah, I knew you did. He's got great talent. Oh, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see him on the field if it does happen here.
This game's getting sloppy. Another false start. Another false start against Rapid City Stevens. And boy, I mean, Rapid City Stevens had this thing 12-7, and they had a lot of penalties, and they had a lot of mistakes to still be in this game, and so did the Lynx. But, boy, this has been a tough second half, to say the least. And it's going to be a long drive home for these kids who they fought. So is Hartford as he throws, and that's caught. A first down. Excellent catch by Tegan Heckel, who spent a little time playing quarterback in this game as well. I thought Jackson Hilton might get his paws on that one, but that's what happens when you go for the home run. Sometimes you swing and miss, and that's what happened there.
So Jackson Hilton, the corner, number 85 for the Lynx, and 27, Joel Kolbeck. They've been really ball hawks tonight, and guess what, folks? The future is bright because they're both sophomores.
Pass over the middle is caught and into the end zone, touchdown.
And I say that, and that happens.
Touchdown, Rapid City Stevens. As Bob Logan and I were in sync there, he's our public addresser. Jacob Hafner scores. And the Raiders get a touchdown here to make it a 3-touchdown game.
About 4 years ago, Kyle.
That was a long time ago.
Maybe 4. No. When did you graduate?
2012.
Okay. So it would have been
6 years ago for me.
6 years ago, you might have been the PA guy for one game.
That was me.
I remember that.
Yep, that was
me.
me.
I was calling the game on the radio with Sunny Radio at the time.
I remember that as well.
And you were calling the game. Man, what a memory we have. Holy cow.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. Dean Pearson's still over there doing the scoreboard. I had
they told me to listen to this kid. They did. I'm not kidding you. Man, you sounded, I always say, and that's how, bring a story back. I know we're full of stories tonight, but that's what happens when it's 34-14.
Yeah.
My boy, my wife and I and our family were big Jackrabbit fans. And you went to school there, and obviously you're Jackrabbit.
Yep, broadcasted some games there for the student station.
Yeah, and we named our boy after Griffin Callahan.
Really?
Yeah. You remember Griffin?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Game-winning 3 against Western Illinois in the 2012 Summit League Championship game.
The hardest working player. I knew he was just grinding.
He was a stud.
And not that we named Griffin after that, but his name really sounded good on the PA system.
Griffin Callahan.
It really sounded good.
Yeah. And I'll never forget, you can find it on YouTube if you look it up. When he hits that 3, seeing the Sioux Falls Arena just explode was one of the coolest things. I was not at that game, but that's, I think, the only Summit League Championship game I've missed since then, whether men's or women's.
Yeah, and so
kick goes out of bounds, or excuse me, kick goes out of the end zone for a touchback.
And so the story goes that my wife and I, so my father and I and some other guys, we go to a lot of basketball games and make that trip up to Brookings. And I finally brought my wife, she's pregnant with our boy, and I said, listen to this name as he's being introduced in the starting lineup. Listen to this name because it sounds really good on the PA system, and it stuck.
So you didn't necessarily name him Mooch Canals with the run.
Yeah, there's no Callahan in there.
Okay, so Griffin is his name.
Right. Yep.
I thought like you saw him hit that game-winning 3 and they won, and you're like, oh my gosh, we have to name our kid, which would be, a little sad, but.
Right. But yeah, he is a tremendous player.
I'm going to name my son, I don't know, Chester Taylor Roki or something.
Yeah,
Make something obscure.
Or something.
Mike Redmond Roki.
Yeah, that's a good
Anybody
one, too.
remembers him? Tommy Skolton Roki, something like that.
Yeah, or like J.J. Reddick.
Oh, no.
Roki.
My dad would roll over in his grave. My dad and I have been to Chapel Hill. We're Tar Heel fans.
Oh, really?
Yep. We went to Chapel Hill and sat courtside.
Oh, boy.
Greatest day, other than this one. Here's the handoff, left side, first down. Look at this kid dragging defenders across the 35. And it was Hansen. First down run. Lynx have, we've said it already, the Lynx have ran the ball really tough today.
They have.
That was actually Vegans who was in there as fullback.
And so Skolton still in the game for the Lynx, as we were talking about. Aiden Lloyd was warming up down.
Feels
on
like
the
so long ago.
It does. But that score kept Skolton in the game.
Handoff. And Isaac Gelson quickly comes in and takes down Mooch Canals. And that'll be a gain of 3. We dwindled to 6. I don't think the Lynx are going to do anything too cute here. I think they'll just kind of run the ball, but get the play clock all the way down.
But you really have to establish first downs here. You can't just say, okay, we're just going to run the ball, but you got to keep on pushing that pedal down because this is what happens. It's going to come up with a big third down. As Stevens just scored, and if we don't pick up the first down, they're going to get the ball.
Yeah. On a tackle, great tackle by Jacob Hafner.
Third down, Brandon Valley.
It's almost like we're in a prevent offense.
Yeah. Under 6 to play, we're at 5 minutes. And boy, I mean, if you give Stevens the ball back here, it looks like the Lynx are going to throw. You give them the ball, they score again, and you have possibly a slip up on special teams. You could be talking about dangerous territory. 3rd and 11. Skolton will throw. Lets it go deep. It's underthrown, and it's incomplete.
And then you stop the clock here. So now the clock's going to be stopped at 4:50. It's a 20-point game. But anything can happen in football. You got to keep the pedal. You got to keep the pedal down. They just scored, and now you're giving the ball back, and they're going to have probably decent field position because you're kicking from right around the 20, 21-yard line.
Nesbitt and Keel are back. Keel's had a pretty good game, special teams and running the ball. And it is going to be Nesbitt, and he's immediately tackled on the play by Mooch Canals. And we said it earlier in the game, but once again, just great to have Mooch Canals. Not only to see him on the sideline in street clothes, but to see him in this game after taking a vicious hit last week.
Yeah, it was scary. Yeah, those are the hits that you see on the football field, and he's defenseless, completely defenseless on the ground, and 2 players hit him, and it's just real good to see him back on the football field.
5 wide receivers. Pass from Colton Hartford is caught, and it's Nesbitt tackled by Johnson, and that'll be a gain of about 7 yards, so a quick hitter. gets him 7. And it'll be 2nd and a long 2 for Rapid City Stevens.
And you got to keep your safeties high because they're gonna take a shot here real soon. It's either gonna be this down or the next down because we're ticking into 4 minutes to go in the ball game. They have to.
Flag, false start, or offsides. I've been wrong already once in this game. I am not a football referee. I'm an umpire. But this is a false start.
That's right.
And then I refereed basketball for 1 weekend. That lasted 1 day. Never went back.
Was that like an all-star game or something like that? Like
That would have been – that was Game 7 of the 2013 NBA Finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Spurs and Heat. Good game. Good game. It's not something I like to brag about. No, it was just a tournament here at Brandon Valley High School.
Oh, okay.
Not quite my style. As you can tell from the basketball broadcast, I am not a basketball expert.
You love basketball.
I do. Throw to the left. He was hit as he threw. Incomplete. That one was intended for Tegan Heckel. And Hartford really took a lick on that one. He's been beaten up. He's been sacked 4 times in this game by this ferocious Lynx defense.
And for the first time this year, I seen my breath.
Yep.
You see yours?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
He had, we had the heater on this morning in the car, listening to the power trip.
Whew.
And it'll be 3rd and 7, 4-down territory from this point on. 3:34 to go in the game. Hartford, look out, jump throw, caught, but well short of a first down. Gabe Wood, number 4, and they're going to call it incomplete. He had it in his hands momentarily, but it was knocked away beautifully by this Lynx defense, and it looks like Rapid City Stevens has waved the white flag. They're going to punt. This doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it's.
I mean, you got to score.
7.
4th and 7 from the 41. They're going to punt. This is they're going to just get on the bus and go home, I guess. Oh, like the Lynx just about got their hands on a blocked punt. Devin Jones was in pursuit. Good idea by Muchkanaus to just let that one go and dwindle a little bit more time off the clock. And what really surprises me more than anything that they punted, they got all 3 timeouts.
Yeah,
I think they've given up.
Yeah, they're cold.
Well, who cares? Why don't you cry about it, Saddlebags? That's the way it is. Once again, thanks to our...
That's the only excuse I can give.
Yeah, thanks again to our sponsors, the Harry Buck team at Hague Realtors, Alliance Communication, First National Bank, Pizza Ranch, Brandon Community Foundation, Brandon Valley Journal, Taco John's, McKinney Olson Insurance, Brandon Valley Chamber of Commerce, Schoeneman Construction, and the Brandon Valley Booster Club. Into the game for the Lynx at quarterback now is Aiden Lloyd. Handoff to the left side to Muchkanaus. He's going to be tackled at the 15-yard line, so that'll be a loss of about 4. And it's actually Aiden Swift into the game for Muchkanaus. Aiden Swift is a sophomore.
A 4-yard loss in that play. Second down.
That'll bring up a 2nd down. Stevens not using their timeouts. So run. If they don't get the first down, they'll punt it away. 2nd down. Handoff. And this time a little bit of room. And a first down the left sideline. There goes Aiden Swift across midfield and out of bounds near the 45-yard line. And a touchdown-saving tackle by Branson Keel. We've got a Rapid City Stevens player down. A nifty-looking run after a loss of 4 by Aiden Swift.
Big play, and you got to stay
Seal the deal.
inbounds, seal it, drain the clock, get that victory, go to 4-2 on the season. We know that the O'Gorman Knights are now in first place, sole possession of first place at 6-0, and Roosevelt's 5-1. Washington, I don't know what they did tonight. But we'll see. We'll see. Washington was sitting at
3-2. They were 3-2.
They were 3-2, and we were 3-2. So we'll see their schedule.
Well, we've harped on it already. You and I did today. We did last week, and then Wade and I in our pigskin game did. We've seen some sophomores make some splashes, and they've gotten better every game. Boy, the future looks bright for this Lynx team. The present's not looking so bad either.
Right.
Aiden Lloyd's going to run, and he's crunched on that play by Brock Myers, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield as the clock continues to run.
Stopped there by number 50.
JT Bieber for the Lynx has to check out.
Loss of 2 yards on that play, second down and 12.
Under 2 to go. Game MVP, Althoff? Tommy?
I have to give it to the front five, the offensive line. I'll give it to those guys. They established the run. They really did. They really buried this defensive line for Stevens, and they took over the game when they needed to. The first half, the first couple series, it worked well. But really in the third quarter, when it was a 12-7 ball game, a five-point lead, that offensive line took control. And they made it happen for that offense, and they made it start clicking. And so that's my belief, is that that offensive line really deserves the game ball tonight.
October 2nd, the Lynx will play, both boys and girls soccer will be here, as Lloyd is going to throw it to the right here, and the pass is too tall, incomplete, intended for Max Johnson. I'll be here. I'll be doing what Bob does. Lynx TV should have the game, question mark. We would assume a playoff game would be on there. Lynx TV has done a great job of broadcasting soccer this year. We added that, and so I'm over here to listen to that as well.
Just expanding. It started a couple years ago by a couple people that had a great idea to make this happen, and here we are in year, I believe, 3 right now.
Is this year number 4?
3 or 4.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Wow, man, it's been flying. It's been great. And so
it was 2016. This is our 3rd year.
Yeah. And so year 3, and it's just, like I said, it's expanding. And we have to thank the people that started it. A few names to say the least is obviously Randy Marceau, the athletic director, playing a big part. The Brandon Paul Burnt.
Yep,
staff.
he does such a good job.
And,
such a great guy, Paul.
Harry Buck came up with a good idea. Sitting
very
at
handsome
home.
Man as well. Yes.
And they really came up with the idea, had a meeting, and here we are 3 years later, and we're able to bring it to you live and paint that picture for you. And the Lynx are going to move to 4-2 on this season.
And they have 2 very tough games coming up against Watertown and O'Gorman. Okay, so they also have Yankton in there as well.
Is O'Gorman at home?
O'Gorman is the last game of the year. That's senior night at home, and that's going to be a matchup that you're not going to want to miss. And I think the next 2 games are on the road in Watertown and Yankton. I missed that Yankton game. My apologies. I'm just so excited to get back here. And, boy, tough home schedule for your Lynx. But they're making it happen. 22 seconds to play. It'll be 3rd and 4. I'm going to give my game MVP from a bounce-back game to Tommy Skolton. He had some passes that were dropped, some deep passes. Could have maybe even thrown for about 300 yards in this game, but he did have 4 touchdown passes. So I'm going to give it to Tommy with that front line, as you said, incomplete. That one is in the dirt. Second half, very good. First half I liked the way the offense moved the ball, but they did not get a lot of points. Colder games, so, 40-yard field goals are tough, and they had those long fourth downs. But the last few games, I've loved the way the Lynx have moved the ball. I really have.
Yeah.
With this defense and their offense kind of puts things together like they did in the second half, they're going to have a lot of fun late in the year.
And I like that we're able to give the game balls to the offensive side of the ball, because so many times this year we could have called multiple defenders, the whole defense, but the offense, and not that the defense did anything wrong tonight, they played a great game, but offensively we really established where we're at this year, and it's a great homecoming night for this team, and there's a punt.
Yeah, nobody's back there. They're just going to let this one dwindle. And there was 1 second on the clock, but I think old Dino Pearson over there is just going to let this one go. The Brandon Valley, I got fans waving at me here, laughing about that one. The Brandon Valley Lynx pick up the victory, 34-14. They score 22 points in the second half and are able to get a victory. Tommy Skolton played great, 12 of 19, 181 yards, 4 touchdowns. Carter Altoff, 6 catches, 84 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And the Lynx ran the ball very effectively today. Once again, your final score, the Brandon Valley Lynx 34, Rapid City Stevens 14. Thank you for listening to Lynx TV. We will see you in 3 weeks with our big matchup against Sioux Falls O'Gorman.
Have a great night.